Dear Jerry, greetings from Southern California from a Jew wandering in the desert. Nancy and I are very sorry that we can't be in attendance personally. So with Edie's suggestion, I'm making a video for you and your friends so they can appreciate exactly the roots of where you came from. Where should we start? Brooklyn College? Night House? The bottom line is we are both products of Jewish ghetto life in Brooklyn, albeit from slightly different ends of the spectrum. In retrospect, we should have named our collective adventures The Adventures of Shmendrik and his sidekick Schlemiel. We could interchange parts as we did without any problem. Some of the things we did were wild, some of the things we did were crazy. Jerry will tell you the story, at least one story, about how we crossed the flash flood in the middle of the desert in a VW when tractor trailers and regular trailers refused to risk it. Well, being two Jewish guys who were broke, going to school full time, the obvious agenda was, how can we make some money? Along the way, we had a number of different business adventures. We started our first adventure pretty small with the A&J Reminder Service. The A&J Reminder Service would, for $1, send you a postcard reminder for up to 365 days of the event of your choice. Think about it. We were a little bit ahead of our time because today such services are fairly common. Like most startups, we were somewhat undercapitalized, and given our working capital constraints, we decided to get the biggest bang for our advertising dollars, so we advertised in the National Enquirer. What else? When we went to place our ad in Manhattan, the 95-year-old clerk in charge of classifieds had never heard of a reminder service, had no category for a reminder service. So, in order to try to disqualify us by suggesting that there was a need for two insertions in a new classification, on the spot, we gave birth to the discount competitor to the A&J Reminder Service, the Elephant Reminder Service, whose motto was, "The elephant never forgets." Kind of broke even on this adventure, thank God. Business adventure number 2. Since money was tight going to school full time, Jerry and I agreed to split an afternoon shift as gas jockeys at Smiling Jack service station. One of the perks was the adjacency to the main Ebinger factory, so every night we ate day-old cake until it was coming out of our ears. If Jerry remembers, he'll tell you the story of the Mobil Oil promotion to motivate employees to sell oil by putting chips inside of the cans that could be redeemed for green stamp type gifts, and how we came to capture all the chips and corner the market. Business adventure number 3. Since I was an accounting major, the next logical business venture was obviously creating a tax return service. So Jerry and I created the Accurate Tax Service, filling out IRS short forms and serving the working class poor with offices in among the 2 worst neighborhoods in Brooklyn. And since I was the accounting major, if there was a long form, I would do that. I'm sure Jerry can tell you one of the funniest stories about the peddler selling pencils. Since we were big on slogans, we had a jingle for the Accurate Tax Service. It went something like, "We are the boys from Accurate Tax. We never relax. Just give us the facts and we'll do your tax." We actually did make some money at that. Not enough to change our lifestyles, but it was an interesting learning experience. Business adventure number 4, or adventure number 4, was actually a vacation, driving cross country in someone else's car. We did this in a broken down Dodge that was a World's Fair taxi cab with 250,000 miles from Secaucus, New Jersey to Dickinson, North Dakota. We then took a 24-hour bus ride from Dickinson to Denver, picked up a stick shift VW to Las Vegas. We learned how to drive that after we got the car. And then a Greyhound bus to Los Angeles. The trip highlights of that adventure, which was truly a galvanizing experience, We slept outdoors in state and national parks, went horseback riding at 6 a.m. in Grand Teton National Park, followed by a chuck wagon breakfast. Ran out of money in Denver, so we did the only logical thing. We took the remaining few dollars we had and went to the dog track and won a whole bunch of money. We then went on to Las Vegas, where we won a bit more money and lived high on the hog at the Riviera in Las Vegas for 2 days. We saw Shelley Berman, Lisa Kirk with a roast beef dinner for $9, and then proceeded to lose all our money and leave Las Vegas in a barrel. Met up with friends of mine in California who were driving back to New York. I fell in love with California. One of our side trips was a trip to Tijuana to see a bullfight. And on that trip, I had a taco from a street vendor in downtown Tijuana, and here I am, alive and well, to tell you about it today. We drove back cross country with 2 other fellows in an Olds 98 station wagon. Since I had to be at a wedding, we drove nonstop LA to Pittsburgh in 48 hours. Then life settled down. Jerry met Edie. I met my practice wife of 26 years. We kind of went our separate ways, Jerry into industrial engineering, me into healthcare administration. And with a little bit of creativity, he and I found him in Italy, and we reunited one day in the mid-90s in Chicago. Jerry, that's not a bad ride, Bubala, when you think about it. Congratulations, best wishes for a happy and a healthy life. Now, the reality is, at our 80th, collectively, you have to either show up or make a video, and when you do that, you have to guarantee that your false teeth won't fall out. Sei gesund, be well, happy birthday, and many, many more. Bye-bye.